All right, come in a little closer. Come on in. Yeah, see, relax, lay down for me, mount. Guys, let's work some mount submissions, okay? Turn this way for me. All right, so, real quick, YouTube, come in a little bit closer. This is geared towards you guys. All right, so when we're in mount, all right, a lot of times I want to get to this position, I really immediately want to get to grapevine, okay? So I want to keep my hips low, and I want to get my hands on the ground to start, but just to get the angle so that I can get my legs wrapped inside and around the legs like this, okay? With my grapevines, this gives me a lot of control over my opponent here. So let's say Nick tries to bridge this way to get out, I extend the opposite way, and then that ruins a lot of his power. He tries to bridge me this way, I extend his leg. It doesn't have to be like over dramatic like that, just I'm kind of pushing against that, and that really just saps all his strength on his hips right there, okay? Second, like I said, I'm keeping heavy on my hip. I'm pushing down, actively pushing down into it, okay? Finally, I want to bring one arm under the head immediately, like here, all right? I want to go so far that there's no space between my elbow and his neck, but I don't want to go even a step farther than that and push my bicep into his face. I want to make him face this way. The reason for that is if I push his face a certain way, he cannot bridge the opposite way. Try to bridge me that way. There's almost no power there, okay? If I let him go, bridge, there's a lot of power there. So just this action alone is a lot, all right? It's gonna funnel him in the direction that I want. So I'm gonna push his face the wrong way for him. I know he can only bridge me that way, okay? So I have my hand here, I can only stop any sort of bridges that way, and I have my hips and my grapevine all at the same time. Now, once I have that, move back a little bit, and let me turn you a little bit there. Okay, once I have this, I'm gonna start working on separating this elbow from his ribs, okay? So a lot of times he's gonna be keeping his arms tight in here, so I wanna come in and kind of wedge between right here and start catching it. Now, you know, obviously it's not gonna be that simple, but Nick's just making it easy for demonstration, okay? So I wanna start walking it up. Do you have to do this little spider crawl? No. But what I like is because we're gonna be fighting, I get a little bit more, he pushes and I hold. I get a little bit more, he pushes and I hold, right? Like a ratchet system. Once I get far enough, I want to grab his armpit or his tricep even better, okay? This locks him into the place that I want right here. Now, I can kind of use this hand a little bit more. Instead of just holding him, I can move it across, all right? I ultimately want his hand in front of his face and even better under his chin right here, okay? So as I walk him up, I trap this and I move him in the position I want. Once I'm here, I'm going to replace this arm with my head or neck right here and squeeze into him, all right? I want to go as deep as I can. To make this even deeper, I'm going to like kind of thrust my hand up and down like this. That gets it really deep. Now, I grab my bicep and I squeeze right here. Sometimes I'll get it back. If that's not enough, I'll get my hips up in the air, tripod, and squeeze. And if that's not enough, we're going to go the ultimate. You're going to gable grip, put your elbows in, and you're going to sprawl your hip to the ground like that. Okay? So those are your 3 stages of finishing him off. At no point did I leave and go to side control. That's the traditional way to finish that arm triangle, but I don't like that because your no-gi, you're giving him an opportunity, maybe he's extra slippery and he's able to slip out, and you just got yourself into a bad side control kesekatami situation, which I don't like, okay? So try to stay in mount, because if it doesn't work, you're still in mount, all right? You can do other attacks, got it? So, you get to this position, low, grapevines, go as deep as you can, catch his elbow, start walking it up, walk it up, walk it up, walk it up, secure. Put his hand in the place that I want, put my head down. Sometimes I gotta really fight. This is gonna be a fight, it can take a couple minutes. Get here, drop my head to the ground. He's not gonna be able to get it out. Then, bring my head over, grab my bicep, squeeze, get on my tippy toes, squeeze, gable grip, elbows in, sprawl down, and squeeze. Those are your 3 options. Good? Let's give it a shot on 3. 1, 2, 3, go.